Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
You may be asking yourself on this beautiful spring morning, this Wednesday, the 27th of April, you may be asking yourself, how in the heck did the Grizzlies win that game? How in the heck are they up 3-2? It's simple. You can answer that with one simple statement. 2 letters. Ja Morant. Now, we did get help from Brandon Clark last night. Game 2, the miracle, that was Xavier Tillman. Last night, it was Clark tipping and getting offensive rebounds. It was Ja Morant who was so incredibly clutch. 18 points in the fourth quarter. The last 13 points scored by Ja after the idiot Beverly had the audacity to do the little too small sign. As soon as he did that, Ja went crazy. If I were Karl Anthony Towns, or I were the coach, Chris Finch, or I were Anthony Edwards, who hit a clutch shot, my goodness, to tie the game with 3.7 to go, I would tell Beverly to shut his mouth because he has inspired Ja in the stupidest way. Really what got Ja going was that dunk. I know you've seen it by now. You had to. It's played a million times between TNT, ESPN, your phone, every website in America that's got it, Twitter, whatever it may be. You've seen it. Where he takes off from the dotted semicircle line. So, what is that, about 10 feet away, I think?
Yeah, 10 or 12.
I think it's 10. I think that's the 10-foot line.
Yeah, 12 is pretty generous, I think. 10.
Well, if you want to be generous, I mean, we can make him superhuman.
I think it's 30 feet, Dave.
Yeah, there you go. He takes off, full extension. He does, I think, kind of use his left hand to just get a little bit more off of Vanderbilt, doesn't he? I mean, go look at that in slow motion, folks, and tell me if he's not, like, pushing off slightly, but not enough to make a call, but just enough to hang even higher and longer. And then with authority, you know what that did? It got the crowd going, but more importantly, I think it got Ja Morant going because Ja Morant was a flustered guy. Ja Morant was 3 of his first 9 free throws, wasn't he? I know he was 2 of 7. I think he was 3 of 9, and then hits his last 8 free throws when it really counts.
That's exactly right.
He hasn't hit a 3 the whole game, and then after Brandon Clark tips the ball back, he hits a dagger 3. Unbelievable. Wow, you think it's a dagger 3. Then Minnesota runs a really good play that Chris Finch may have drawn up.
Beautiful.
It really was. It includes a fake, which makes Clark hesitate. Edwards is open. He buries a clutch 3. Not everybody in that situation can make that shot. And Edwards buried it, and we're tied with 3.7 to go. So I think to myself, we're going overtime. And the Grizzlies don't have Triple J, but they haven't for this whole comeback. They were down 11 when he went out of the game. Didn't matter. Do you realize now the Grizzlies, I think I saw this graphic. I'm almost certain this is true. The Grizzlies are the first playoff team to ever win 2 games in a series when they trailed by double digits in the fourth quarter.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. The insanity, I think I've said this too many times at this point. I'm so disappointed in the Timberwolves. I mean, the youth and inexperience. First of all, the play when Ja's, before the three-point shot, when Ja's going down to shoot the free throws, they forgot what the score was. They forgot the situation before they fouled in the backcourt. unbelievable lack of awareness going on there. And then at the end of the game, Anthony Edwards to gamble on that steal.
He said that was just dumb.
Just
and
dumb.
He is really correct. That opened up the lane, and then Ja did his thing. So if you don't know, after Edwards hits that three, here's Ja, timeout, and they asked Ja what was the call. What did Taylor Jenkins draw up on the board? And all he said, I'd love to know what Taylor Jenkins really did do. But Ja goes, Ja, get a bucket. That was the call.
Why overcomplicate it?
Well, they do set a pick.
Yeah, they do.
For him to come around, and that's when Edwards comes off the screen and tries to steal the ball. Therefore, the lane is wide open, and all he's got to do is beat Vanderbilt, and he does that with his left hand, off glass, right in, place goes crazy. There was an attempt, and I don't think it was close, but there was Carl Anthony trying to make that thing go. And it did not. And so the Grizzlies win one they probably should not have won. How many times are you going to get outshot from the three-point line? 14-7. 7 more threes they made. That's 21 points, folks. You had to do a lot of stuff in the paint, which they did. They killed them with paints and a point. They killed them on the boards, 53-42. They had 18 offensive rebounds.
Unbelievable.
And that was undersized give up all those offensive rebounds. That's right.
And also get beat in points in the paint when you're by 30 when you're undersized. Unbelievable.
Well, you know, I can tell you how that happens. Ja's driving.
And Brandon Clark.
Do you know of the Grizzlies win the second chance points 23-6. That sort of negates the threes right there. So,
discrepancy.
Of the 18 offensive rebounds, how many did Brandon Clark have? Do you know? Because I do.
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't. Let me,
half
7.
Of them.
9. So 15 rebounds for Brandon Clark. Unbelievable game. I wanted the last shot to go to him. I was hoping that Anthony Edwards sits in front there. Maybe a little too much help. Just a little lob
to Clark.
Maybe a little Brandon Clark pogo stick floater goes in.
That's a hard play to call, and I'll tell you why. Because they're not going to call a foul.
No.
Especially if it's Brandon Clark. He's not getting that call.
No.
They're not going to put a foul on Karl Anthony Towns trying to stop Brandon Clark. Let's be honest. They made the right call. Get it to Ja.
Go get a bucket.
Because Ja is either going to get you a bucket, and he's the only one they would probably call a foul on Minnesota for if he got touched. So the right call is made. Dumb play by Edwards. The truth of the matter is, what is the percentage, do you think, of in this series that the Grizzlies now lead 3-2? What do you think? And I don't know the answer to this. Maybe you can find this out because you're brilliant, J-Mo, with these kinds of analytics. What is the percentage of time that the Grizzlies have had the lead in this series?
Very little.
I would venture to say the Timberwolves have had the lead 70% of the time in all these games.
I'm sure you could find out if I went through and added up all the time with the lead on the box scores and stuff like that. But it absolutely would go to the Timberwolves. I feel like there's no doubt in my mind about
70%,
that.
70%, I bet.
Yeah.
I mean, the Grizzlies should be out of the series. They should never have won Game 3, and they should never have won Game 5.
Yeah, they should be out of the series, Timberwolves should. Honestly, the Grizzlies should have been able, with this team, I think the Grizzlies should have been able to close out this series in 4 games. But the fact of the matter is, you got to feel good when you're winning the series because very easily 1 or 2 shots go the other way, and this game, the series is already over for the Timberwolves. 4-2, 4-1.
You can't blow 2 double-digit leads in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's the truth, and that's what they've done. And I think, you know, last night the Grizzlies just showed grit and grind. I mean, that's what they did. We're going back a generation here, right, to grit and grind, but that's what they did because they couldn't shoot. They were 3 of their first 23-point shots. J-Mo. 3 of 20. That's 15%.
And shot 66% from the free throw line last night.
Oh, they were missing more free throws than the U of M did early in the year.
I was about to say, it looked like a Memphis game.
It was unbelievable. They couldn't hit a free throw.
Hey, you know how else it looked like a Memphis game? Like 50 total turnovers in the game between the two teams. I mean, couldn't keep the ball.
Well,
not even counting the shot turnovers of missed dunks and throwing the ball away on shots. So, I mean, easily a 50 turnover game in the third quarter it was.
So you take a look at the 18 second chance opportunities, the 18 offensive rebounds that the Grizzlies got last night. And then you've mentioned it already. You take a look at the turnovers. That's 22 turnovers the Timberwolves had. That is 40 extra possessions that the Grizzlies got that the Timberwolves didn't.
Not going to win in the playoffs doing things like that.
That's how you win the game.
That's
they
right.
turn it over, even though they are a much better shooting team. I mean, nobody should complain at all about the officiating in this game because the Grizzlies got 15 more free throw attempts than Minnesota. And, the Timberwolves make free throws. They're 21 of 24. They shoot 42% from three-point range. They lead by 11 with under 6 minutes to go in the game. 7 minutes. 6:58 to go. And it's 99-88. How do you lose that game? Chris Finch has to look in the mirror. And after Edwards makes the big, brilliant play, he makes the dumb play by absolutely not following what the defensive scheme is. So as much as we give Edwards credit for having the chutzpah, the backbone, to make that three to tie the game, he tries to be a hero and hurts his team, and the Grizzlies steal the game.
I honestly agree with the Chris Finch criticism, and I'm not one for criticizing coaches. I'm a bit of a coach apologist, I think. But also, you mentioned it, I always want to blame youth and inexperience for why the Timberwolves are the way they are. But you look at the Grizzlies, and they have just as much, if not more, youth and inexperience in them, and they don't make those kinds of careless mistakes that cost you basketball games. You got to look at Chris Finch. Turnovers and offensive rebounds, and I mean, I also don't like Karl Anthony Towns, so maybe I can blame players too. But maybe it's a collection of all of these things. Those are things that have to be tightened up. And the Timberwolves are young, so you got to imagine they get back to the playoffs, but you're not going to win playoff series or playoff games when you do things like that.
No, well, and Memphis gets lucky because we said one of the keys if you're going to win this series is you've got to get play from Triple J. And Jaren Jackson Jr. played 17 minutes. You're hoping the guy in the playoffs is going to play 40. Isn't that what Clark and what Morant played 44 minutes each last night?
Mm-hmm.
You're hoping he's your star. He's your second best player.
Not anymore.
He's a terrific defensive player, too. You need him in there, and he plays 17 minutes. You still win the game. When he goes out of the game, you are up 11 points. And you're talking about being apologetic, a coach guy. I think you've got to give Taylor Jenkins a lot of credit. Now, some of this is his hand is forced, but he makes the decision. He's not using Tillman. He's not going to put Steven Adams in. Okay, I'm going to go small.
Super small.
Super small, and still, because Brandon Clark becomes, what does Pete Pranica say, pogo stick?
Oh, the pogo stick floater.
I like that.
It.
That's
what it looks like.
That's a great line.
If we could look ahead for a minute, just assuming that, let's say, they win this series and the Warriors win their series, what do you think you're going to do against the Warriors when Draymond Green is the biggest guy on the floor for them? What, are you going to put Jaren on him? You probably have to do the same lineup.
I think you're going to go back with Steven Adams.
Oh, well, that's true, too. But
because
that's hard to guard as well.
They're going to play Looney.
And to start the game, for sure.
To start the game. So Adams should start the game. But don't count this thing over yet.
No. You're right. You're right.
I
like that lineup of Kyle Anderson,
if you can't see what – do they have even a game time for Friday yet? And not only the game time, but if there is a line. If I were Vegas, and they're much better than I am, I promise you. But the Grizzlies have been favored in every one of these games. Yesterday, by the way, was the first time the winner didn't cover.
That's right.
But if I were the odds makers in this game, I would have to make the Timberwolves the favorite in the game by 2.5. At home, desperation. Memphis has been so lucky in this series. I'd have to go Timberwolves by 2.5.
First of all, I love this. No game time yet for Friday, but there's lines on everything. I mean, we got the over/under, the game line, all of it. So the Grizzlies are favored by 2. I guess they're just taking basically the line last game, 6.5.
They've been favored in every
5
game.
points, yeah.
At home, it's been by between 5 and 7 points, and on the road, it's been by 1 to 3.
That's right. So if you take, what does Vegas say, like 5 points for the home team in basketball, basically just what they're doing. But I don't disagree with you. I'm surprised Timberwolves maybe aren't favored in this game. A home game, you lose or go. I guess you're already home, but lose or go home. That's a tough line.
I don't think they're going to quit. That's the thing. They did quit in game 2.
Yeah, so
that's the only
there's precedent.
That's the only game that they gave up the rope. They haven't done that in any other game, and
So what are the 2 things you're looking for? You're looking for Beverly to make fun of Ja, and you're looking for Karl Anthony Towns to do something demonstrative like it's over or shush the crowd.
I don't think
we're glad we're back home.
Seriously,
and then it turns around.
If I were the Timberwolves, I'd be saying to Patrick Beverly, "You're killing us. Shut up. Just shut up.
Can't poke the bear." That's the old Michael Jordan saying, right?
By the way, Patrick. Okay, you were pretty good for the first 3 quarters, but you got in foul trouble. Oh, by the way, the dude scored 30 on us. He scored 30 on us, Patrick. Shut up.
Foul trouble, absolutely, because McLaughlin's the name of the backup point guard. He made a great pass on that last play
there.
there.
Oh, my goodness.
That was incredible.
That was a beautiful bounce pass to Edwards to tie the game.
Yeah.
He's hurt Memphis.
Oh, yeah.
He hit, 3 or 4 threes in one of the games. And the guy's plus minus, I think, is probably pretty good.
Apps has to be. Every time he's on the court, he does something productive.
Yeah, he was when we were trying to figure out this series, we never mentioned the ball guy. And McLaughlin is his name. Yeah, he's played exceptionally well, I think, for them. I felt sorry for Beasley because he was the victim of the posterizing dunk.
But he's a good player.
He's a good player. They're a good team. And they there is something about some guys that are superstars. And like Brandon Clark said, thank God we got him. But Ja Morant is that guy. He's that intangible. He's like Michael Jordan. He's like Kobe Bryant was. They're just going to make the big plays when they have to. I mean, let's be honest. Morant stunk the first 2 quarters and 10, 11 minutes.
But that's why you get that guy, though, is because he makes shots that other people don't have the guts to make. And maybe that's a little bit of a generality, but it's absolutely the truth. He can make shots in moments that other guys just don't have the guts to make.
He just said, I'm going to win the game for us. I'm going to win the game for us with a 3. He hadn't really hit a 3 the whole night. What has he got, like 2 threes in the last 2 games?
That's exactly right.
He's not hitting 3s at all. And how deep was that? I mean,
top of the key, but it was deep.
That was a 25 or 26-foot jump shot.
No doubt.
Heck, it was half the distance or double the distance of the dunk.
It's almost I think it's almost Ja Morant's most productive or best quality is that he makes shots in those moments that other guys just can't make.
And he wasn't making any free throws. 3 of his first 9 hits, his last 8 free throws. To get the last 13 points, that's what Michael Jordan, that's what Kobe Bryant, that's what they would have done in those critical moments. And that's the difference in this series. Because honestly, if we look at these games, Memphis should have been eliminated. They're the first team. There's a reason. This is history. There's a reason teams don't win when they're down 11 in the fourth quarter. They've done it twice now. Some of that is, unfortunately, for Minnesota, and I'm quoting a guy who knows a lot more about it than me, Charles Barkley, who said they're the dumbest team there is. And, I hate to say it, but I think some of that goes to Chris Finch. As good a job as he's put together with this team, making the parts fit, he has not done a good job of keeping leads. And if you were listening at all to Pete, because some people were listening to Ian Eagle, but if you were listening to Pete Pranica said several times, Minnesota's given up big leads all year. That's coaching, I think. That is coaching. You got to get your players disciplined. And frankly, they were disciplined in the play they ran perfectly and executed it perfectly when Edwards makes the three. And then the same guy who's the hero, as I just mentioned, who has the nerve to make the big shot, he's the guy that makes the dumb move to be a hero and screws up the defense. And here you go. You're up 3-2. And the way the series is going, you got to think Memphis is the favorite, because even if I do think I would make the Grizzlies the underdog in Minnesota, I don't think Minnesota is better than them to the point where they're going to win 2 in a row, especially when the best player on the floor, and he proved it last night, is wearing a Memphis uniform, and he wears, as he said, just call number 12. And that is simply it. All right, 111-109, that's your final. We don't know the game time for Friday. If there is a game 7, it's Sunday. So if we don't know Friday's time, we don't know Sunday's time. All I can do is pray for a matinee. Because, Mean Girls is coming to the Orpheum, and our season tickets is Sunday night. I don't know what I'll do there. I have a very, very upset wife if I don't accompany her. Maybe I can get her son to go or something. But I want to see Mean Girls. Man. Anyway, sometimes the NBA gets in the way of life.
That's
I hate
right.
to say it. Sometimes it truly does. And this one, we had plenty of great guests there, didn't we? Adam Silver was there, and it's his birthday. He came for his birthday to Memphis.
Big game, though, 2-2.
I hope you got like a frost cake. There's nothing better than a frost cake, just so you know. John Calipari was here, but, he was there for Karl Anthony Towns. It's a little disrespectful to be sitting by the Minnesota bench, Cal. That's all I can say. Usher was here, kibitzing with T. Morant, Ja's dad. Pau and Zebo in the house.
Pau, really?
Pau, yeah, that's what I heard. Pau was here. Not Mark, Pau. Somebody saw Pau and said something like, do you miss Memphis? And he said, not really.
He's lived a full life in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, Barcelona. He married an American woman, though, didn't he? I think he did.
I think that's right, yeah.
So he probably lives in this country now. Whereas I think Mark is living in Barcelona.
Playing basketball over there, isn't he?
I think he's retired, too. I think he finally retired. Not 100% certain on that. But it was obviously a fun night. I mean, a terrific night. There is a bunch of other NBA stuff. Bucks and Golden State can wrap up their series tonight. I expect that. Miami eliminated Atlanta. Boston swept Brooklyn. We saw that earlier. And the Toronto-Philly series is getting interesting.
I'm telling you.
It's 3-2. They're going to Toronto for Game 6. And no one's ever come back from 3-love, right? No one.
Never.
But there's a little bickering going on. I think Toronto's actually the favorite in the game in Toronto, Game 6.
With injuries, I maybe so, actually.
And did you see Embiid, not meaning to, but did, sort of take a shot at James Harden? Little friction going on in Philly.
But then he was asked, he was like, well, why don't you tell him to shoot more than he goes, that's not my job, it's the coach's job. Well, you're going to say it in the press conference, you might as well just tell him.
Well, the way it was asked, the reporter said he only took 11 shots. What do you think about that? What's he going to say? He said, well, I've been telling him for a long time he needs to take more shots to be assertive. But that's not my job. That's the coach's job. That's how he said it. So he was put in a bad position, but nonetheless.
You just told him, kind of.
Yeah. We got golf picks to make. Oh, gosh. Do I have to read these totals? I am so bad, it's embarrassing. Even if I won, I wouldn't catch you guys at this point. I'd still be down a whole bunch. So Mickey Barker from Memphis City Golf, Johnny Lyon, who, by the way, is sort of in the golf business still. He sells sports cars, these really cool sports cars. I'll let him tell you all about that. They'll make golf picks. Johnny Lyon is dominating the field. So Mickey, Johnny, J-Mo, and I will make our golf picks in a minute, and we'll talk more about the Grizzlies later in the program with Jarvis Greer. We'll get his sense, too, of the Tigers' spring game, with which we know there are 3 quarterbacks and a lot of offense hopefully that defense will come around. So that will come your way at about 10:45. In the meantime, we're sitting in the Family Leisure Studios. Yeah, outdoor spaces, that's the new thing. We've really come to love our houses since COVID. And we've learned if you want to have people, you got to have outdoor living space, right? We're talking those outdoor kitchens, the grills for the kids, trampolines that are now safe. They got that mesh, play gyms, everything you could want ready for you, including outside, above-ground pools, and, of course, hot tubs in stock. Everything hitting the floor daily with the 2022 stuff, including patio furniture. It's really a cool place to go visit. I-40 and Whidden Road, Family Leisure, and our title sponsor. It's Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. That is where you never pay more than sticker price on any new car. They'll never take advantage of the laws of supply and demand. Not everybody can say that. They've raised the bar, and they've got Hyundais, which to me is about as good a technology as there is in the world. Go check it out. That's Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi off Highway 78. That's Lamar in Memphis. 15 minutes, maybe even less, away from your house. Go check it out. They've raised the bar. They've set the standard for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. We're back in just a minute as you listen to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let former Memphis Tiger Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, fellas. It's Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and I want to make you aware of something. Did you know that April is Diamond Month? Well, it is. And if your wife or your girlfriend or maybe your daughter has a birthday in April, diamond is her birthstone. If your wedding anniversary is in April, then your wife surely deserves a diamond. Whatever the occasion, a small gift-wrapped box containing beautiful diamond jewelry from Russell Brothers will always hit a home run and make you a hero in her eyes. A ring or a pendant, earrings or bracelet. You just can't go wrong with a piece of diamond jewelry from Russell Brothers. It'll be a gift that she'll treasure for many years. For 5 decades, Russell Brothers has been helping Memphis men find the very best in diamond jewelry for their sweethearts. In yellow or white gold, in platinum or sterling, you cannot go wrong with a gift of exquisite diamond jewelry from Russell Brothers Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
Crossroad Motors, located in Olive Branch, is not a typical dealership. They only sell late-model trucks and Jeeps. Many of their vehicles have already been lifted with new off-road wheels and tires. Not in the market for a new vehicle? Let them customize yours the way you want it. They install lifts, levels, off-road tires, wheels, and much more. 90 days, same as cash on all customizations or extended financing. Buy one of their vehicles or let them build yours. Check their vehicles on Facebook. Search Crossroad Motors Olive Branch or call 901-545-5190. Look different, drive different.
For years, I have talked to you about James Davis, the finest men's store in all of Memphis, the service, the selection, everything that goes with quality. And I've told you recently about the Stant Perfect Fit shirts. Well, now there's the Stant Perfect Fit pants. Absolutely amazing. Only 2 measurements fed into a computer, and all of a sudden, you've got the perfect fit pants. I'm talking everywhere. The leg, the seat, the bottom, all made to fit your body absolutely perfectly. And there's 80 different fabrics to choose from. You will find the right look, the right fit, almost instantaneously. They start at $162, but you will never find a better pair of pants than these at James Davis Men's Store. And the shirts are still there, and guess what? It's the only place in Memphis that you can find Stant. That's the James Davis Men's Store in the Laurelwood Shopping Center.
Hi, I'm Troy Fivesh, owner of Fivesh Roofing. Sunday, today and today only. And for the first 50 callers, these are things you will never hear me say in my ads. Because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you don't need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get someone's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fivesh Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service, and I do it for a fair price, why would I need gimmicks? Best products, best warranties, and the best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. 5 Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Yeah, I got a lonely feeling. I'm lonely at the back of the pack. Wolo, $218,000 in change. Johnny sitting on top of the leaderboard here, $3 million in change. I mean, I got to win a tournament and a half just to catch him. I'm so far behind. J-Mo, you're in second, almost $1.7 million. Mickey's at $1.62 million. It's really only about $70,000 behind you. So it's close with you guys, not me. So I will get first pick in the Mexican Open, which, by the way, that may be the worst field I've seen in years. I mean, in the power rankings, the number 2 guy is not even top 50. Not even top 50. Crazy how bad this is. This is worse than like the Puerto Rican Open, their field, up against a PGA event. It is absolutely nuts. So the Zurich, well, it was interesting. I guess I think it's okay. Only once a year. I don't mind it. I think there's pretty good money for grins and giggles. I think we just lost Johnny Lyon. I screwed that up. I didn't hit it twice. So we'll have to get Johnny Lyon back. Mickey Barker, what do you think of the Zurich format? Do you like team play?
I think it is. I like it. Once a year like that, it's good practice for the Cups, the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup. I think it's great. I really like it.
You know, that is a good foreshadowing of the way that you do play together another time for the competition when it does become the United States against either Europe in the Ryder Cup or the rest of the world in the President's Cup. So I do like that too, and we see how we get guys together like the Scheffler Ryan Palmer thing. That all came from being paired in international competition. So that is pretty cool. Johnny Lyon, I promised. I think we're safe with Mickey, so I will double-click that. Johnny, I wanted to ask you about your business. So everybody wonders. I know you were with Mid-South Golfer forever. That was your baby. And are you still in the golf business now? I guess that's the big question everybody seems to want to know.
Yeah. It's good to be back on the show. And, I published the Mid-South Golfer magazine from 1992 to 2002. And it was a good 10-year run. And now I started a company 22 years ago called Jackets Required. I'm selling embroidered blazers to country clubs. And it's doing quite well. I think everybody has either gone bankrupt or out of business through the COVID and the recessions and everything that's gone on in the last decade. So we're pretty much the last man standing if you need embroidered blazers. And
so you got the country cornered, is what you're saying, because you do it everywhere, right?
Yeah, we do a lot. Yeah,
these are. I mean, by the way, I've seen the blazers. They're really good. They're perfect for if you're at a country club and there are dress rules for certain events. This is the perfect thing to wear, and you can store it at your club. So, how would they get a hold of you for that, Johnny?
We got a website called jacketsrequired.com. And you can go to the website, see what we offer. There's no minimums. You can buy them one at a time. We're pretty easy to deal with.
All right.
And, it's been a lot of fun. I started it while I was running the golf magazine. I went to the Masters 12 years in a row, and I met a guy that was a member of Augusta National. And I asked him if he thought starting a company like this would be good, and he agreed with me and told me to go with it. And I thought, but nobody else was doing it, so it's been a lot of fun.
And it keeps your hand in the game for sure. No doubt about it. All right, I got a question for both of you. We'll start with Mickey. Phil Mickelson is registered to play in the PGA and in the U.S. Open in June. No firm thing yet, but he's registered to keep his options open according to his representative. He's also asked for a release from the PGA to allow him to play in the first event of that new Saudi Arabian-financed LIV Golf Invitational Series. The first match is also in June in London. If you're Jay Monahan, who is the commissioner of the PGA Tour, would you let him do that and still be allowed to play on the PGA Tour?
I think I probably would. I think, Jay, I think they probably will. You know, Mickelson, after he, and I'm pretty sure he'll play in the PGA. I think once he comes back and gets past the first few press conferences and things like that he'll still be such a big draw that the tour will want to keep him playing, and they'll give him the release for at least that one event.
I would be torn personally. This is a absolute competitor. They are trying to do their own thing. They're starting with, 6 events or something of that nature with huge money, and they want to make it bigger. I would try to put the fire out while I can if I were Jay Monahan. What would you do, Johnny Lyon?
I think his hands are tied a little bit. I think he's going to have trouble. They don't want to get sued, So I think if Phil handles it right and just plays in a few of these tournaments, he can probably have the best of both worlds.
All right, we're going to make picks of the tournament in Mexico here in just a second. I'll let you know this portion of the show brought to you by Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, and the tune-up. 384-3511, a good number to remember. You should get tuned up twice a year. It's only $69. You can actually get it cheaper in the long run and have priority if you become a Conway Comfort Club member like I am. It's really worth it. It's less for people to come out if you ever have any kind of maintenance issue. And they're all about service. And the reason you get 2 tune-ups is to keep your system efficient. Saves money on the MLGW bill, and it makes your system last longer, a lot longer life for sure. And look, you want it to be cool this summer, right? You want to make sure everything is in running order. That's what they do at Conway. 384-3511. All right, I go first. This field, as I mentioned earlier, just not very good. There is one player who happens to be ranked second in the world who killed me at Augusta. I'm hoping, because he should win this, Jon Rahm. That is who I will pick first. Mickey, you got the second pick.
Well, Abraham Answer is going to be the hometown favorite, home country favorite. I just believe there's going to be a little too much pressure on him, so I'm going to go with Kevin Na.
Kevin Na.
Those were my next 2, Mickey. I'm just going to take the other one that you didn't take, so I'm going to take Abe Answer.
Johnny?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Gary Woodland.
Okay. Yeah. That was the guy I was going to go with. And you know what? Gary Woodland, this is the truth. He's not even in the top 50. Not even in the top 50.
Outside looking in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny, you can take somebody under 50 now on your second pick.
Yeah. No, he can't.
Okay.
You cannot.
Oh, yeah. No, I like him. I think you're playing well.
I'm going to go with a wild pick here. I'm going to go with a guy who's a countryman because he rallies well. I am going to go with Sebastian Munoz.
Good pick, Dave. That was on my list. I'm going to go with Aaron Rye. He played really well in the team tournament last week, so I think he might be due.
Those are 2 I have on my list as well. I think I'm going to go with Chris Kirk. I picked him in the Masters, and he's had a pretty good season, so I'm going to take Chris Kirk.
You sure his ranking is correct?
Yeah, he's outside top 50.
I thought he was. Johnny, 51 or below.
see. What? I don't have my list in front of me. Patrick Reed in there?
Yeah, but I don't know if he's in the field, but he's top 50. He's in the top 50.
Okay. How about Matt Jones?
Matt Jones is in the field, and he is eligible.
65.
Yep. Matt Jones is a good pick, actually, very good pick. So, all right, John Rahm and Sebastian Munoz, my picks, and I've struggled. I got to get something this week. Mickey's got Kevin Na and Aaron Rye, Abe Answer, and Chris Kirk for J-Mo, and Johnny's got Gary Woodland and Matt Jones. Gentlemen, it's been a lot of fun. Mickey, any special things coming up with Memphis Public Golf this next week?
Right, we're just about on our tournament season. Those things are happening. You can go to our website and lots of information about that. Also, you can download the Memphis Public Links app. It's on there. Was at Pine Hill yesterday, and the course is really coming along. They're putting in the bulkhead around the lake at 9 and 18. It's going to be a fantastic 2 finishing holes. Can't wait to get that open sometime late fall.
So late fall is when you think that will open, and will the new clubhouse be ready by then too?
No, it won't. We're working on temporary options for that right now. So the clubhouse will be probably sometime in 23.
Okay. Man, I love the investment that the city is making in public golf. That is for certain. And I think your phone app is pretty cool. Let me ask you this. I know you can get it on the Apple Store. If you had a smartphone instead of an Apple iPhone, can you still get the app?
Yes, it is available on Android as well.
Okay. I was not sure of that, but I'm glad to know that is the case. All right, good luck, guys, this week, and we'll do this again next Wednesday.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you, Wolo.
That is Johnny Lyon, and that is Mickey Barker, and they are brought to you in part by the good folks at Grind City Brewing, and I love that Pilsner, Poppy's Pils, light, crisp, refreshing. If you like a Pilsner, I'm telling you, there's not one out there any better than Memphis' own. So this is made in Memphis. It is distributed throughout Memphis. It's available in 6-packs or 15-packs. Ask your favorite retailer about it. It is best enjoyed, and I've been told this by many people, best enjoyed ice cold. It's about to get hot. Nothing more refreshing, especially after a round of golf, than a nice Poppy's Pils. Poppy's Pilsner from Grind City Brewing. We'll pause a minute. When we come back, Jarvis Greer, Jarvo from Action News 5 is right around the corner.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's.
Today's topic, friends and family savings.
Just in time for Mother's Day.
Speaking of, I got my mom the cutest pajamas for just $27.99. A trendy spring dress for under $25 and 65% off fine jewelry.
Ooh, she's one lucky lady.
So am I. Did I mention I got an extra 25% off? And because I'm a Kohl's Rewards member, an extra $20 off?
Count on Kohl's for more style and more savings.
Select styles, 20 off 100, valid in store only. 25% off ends May 1st. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
People always ask me, What does being a dealer for the people really mean? Does it mean the best value or the best service or the best selection? This is Colin Johnston from DeSoto Auto Sales. For the people is a simple idea. We believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car. This belief drives the entire team at DeSoto Auto Sales to care more, to try harder, and to work smarter. We're dedicated to helping you find the perfect car for your life and budget. Many people come to DeSoto Auto Sales for help. Maybe they're making payments on a car that's no longer right for them. Or maybe they owe more on their car than it's worth. Or maybe they've had credit problems in the past. Or maybe they're just nervous and want to make sure they're taken care of. No problem is too big for us. We may not be able to help everybody, but I guarantee we will try our best to help you. I'm Colin, and I'm a dealer for the people. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales at 5704 Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Give us a call at 662-890-7184 or pick out your nicer, newer car at DeSotoAutoSales.com.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
You know Jarvis Kerr is a sweetheart of a guy, and that's why he's brought to you by Dinstall's. That's Memphis's Sweet Tooth. That's the place to go for the signature candies of the whole Mid-South. They've been around forever, about 125 years now. And they've always said Memphis. They've got one thing that no one else has anywhere, Cashew Crunch, with that little tinge of coconut in there. And now, you know, there are restaurants that are putting the Cashew Crunch in crusts of like pies. Butcher Shop does it. Rail Garden, Elegant Farmer. A lot of places are going that way because it's so good. And nobody does the strawberries like that. And I think that Dinstall's chocolate is the key. I mean, they're also makers of the best turtlettes. It all starts with the milk chocolate. And they got the dark chocolate, too, for you healthy people. You get the dark, healthy dark chocolate mints, and you put them in the freezer. Oh, my gosh. It's unreal. Everything about Dinstall's is unreal, and you can get it at 5 different locations. Downtown, the newest, Collierville, Germantown, my neck of the woods, that's Laurelwood, and where they make the candies on Pleasant View. There's a Dinstall's near you. Brighten up somebody's life. Make it sweet by going to Dinstall's. Jarvis Greer, you've had a sweet life here lately. You've been in Minnesota. You've been watching these great comebacks. But I want to start with one thing that I know you didn't see, but I'm sure you've done your homework on, and that is the Tigers' spring football game. And the Tigers' abundance of offense. I'm not sure about the defense. It was pretty vanilla. But we got 3 quarterbacks, Jarvo.
Well, that's what it sounds like. I mean, I did see some of the video when I got back. Kevin Carter looks, the incoming freshman from right here in Memphis, looks like he's got an arm, that's for sure. He can fling that thing downfield. And also, Grant Gunnell looks like the reason they brought him in to be a starter. And Seth Hennigan was a freshman All-American. So that quarterback room's got some talent in it. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And you know what? 2 guys that I don't think we knew a lot about until I saw them in the spring game. This is always the way it happens, right? You're going to find out that guys are pretty good. You'll remember them in the spring, and then all of a sudden they really blossom right as you get ready at the end of fall camp. And Darius Coffey, the running back, and Eric Rivers, the wide receiver, I didn't know much about them. This kid, Zach Switzer, Barry Switzer's grandson. He made a nice catch or 2 in that game. These are names we really weren't talking about until this spring camp, and we know. And by the way, Jacob Likes at center has done a pretty good job too.
Yeah, they moved him over from. Well, he's been the Christian Brothers kid, CHS, and he has done a good job no matter what position. Maybe he's the Dylan Parham of this Tiger offensive line. He can play every position, and you need guys like that are multi-faceted, can play different positions on the line for whatever comes up during the season, and it all starts up front. So I believe Memphis has the quarterbacks. If they get the offensive line that can protect and open up some holes, then here we go back to being a feared offense again in the American.
All right, you have been traveling with the Grizzlies. You're leaving tomorrow to go back to Minneapolis for Game 6. So you've seen every one of them. 6:30
a.m. flight.
You've seen them all up close and personal. Explain to me, as only you,
I
Jarbo,
cannot.
can.
Before you even get started,
the world
I cannot.
are the Grizz up 3-2? Come on.
Okay, well, I'll use the soccer reference for all our soccer aficionados out there. The World Cup play, Germany in World Cup play is awesome. Why? The other teams can run around and celebrate and score and all that they want to do, but in the end, Germany wins. And the Grizzlies are kind of like that in the NBA playoffs. They have been down for most of the series in every game except Game 2, which the Grizzlies blew them, just ran them right out of FedEx Forum. But every other game, Grizzlies have been down for the majority of the game, but they somehow, in 3 of these games, have figured out a way to get it done and get the W at the end, and that is all that matters.
I really
figure out a way.
I'd love to know what the percentage, and we're going to figure this out by tomorrow. I'd love to know what percentage of time the Grizzlies have led in this series. So they're the first ever to come from behind by 11 by double digits in the fourth quarter and win 2 games. That's not ever happened before. Look, they were down 11 with under 7 minutes to go in the game last night. We know with 15 minutes to go in the game in the great Game 3 comeback, they were down 25. I mean, this stuff is some collapse in Minnesota, but as you said, some of it is, well, last night it was Ja and Brandon Clark in one game that was saved. It was Xavier Tillman. There's been a different hero, and I think you got to say something about Taylor Jenkins. We mentioned this earlier. Some of it was a forced hand, but he was brilliant to say, you know what, I'm not going to bring Tillman in. I'm not going to bring Adams in. I'm just going to go small and see what happens. And that comeback from down 11 with under 7 to go with no Triple J was all done with a small lineup.
And talk about Dylan the villain. Dylan's guarded Cat for most of that time. And this guy, 3 of 18 from the field. And, the offense just wasn't there. But he did a great job on D'Angelo Russell, on D-Lo. And then he's got to switch off and play a 7-foot all-star in Karl Anthony Towns. Got to defend him straight up. Now, they did double when they got a chance to double. But, I mean, that's asking a lot of your players. And then after the game, Brandon Clark said, I don't know about these other teams. I kind of feel for them, but thank God we have Ja Morant.
Yeah.
It's like, they are just, even his own teammates are just amazed at what this guy can do. And they see him every day in practice and in every game. They play 82 of them, and he's still amazed. That dunk at the end of the third quarter, that is the Grizzlies' version of the dunk of death that Vince Carter did in the Olympics. I forget the guy's name. You remember, you know what I'm talking about, right? The dunk of death?
I do.
That dunk. And afterwards, that electric, did it energize the crowd? Yeah. Did it energize his teammates? Yeah. They still got down 13 right off the bat, but they came back. The process was started, but I think it energized John more than anything else. He was asked about it after the game. That dunk, what did that do? And he says, it was over a guard. I mean, goodness gracious, he blew the roof off the Forum. He said, it was over a guard, Malik Beasley. He took his soul.
I would put that up again, seriously. The best dunks that I can remember, because it was partially the people they dunked on.
Right.
So the first one I remember, Scottie Pippen on Patrick Ewing. That was an unbelievable dunk. That's back in the Michael Jordan era. The other one was Kobe on Kevin Garnett. That was amazing. And then this one's up there with it. I mean, this one, he takes off from that dotted line, that little semicircle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's got to be 10 to 11 feet away. And he just soars and keeps soaring. Now, he does, I think, use his left hand to sort of get a little bit of push on Beasley.
Not
enough for a foul.
Beasley's face.
Not enough for a foul, but I think that aided him just a touch. And, I mean, it's unreal. It energized the crowd.
And he tried to do it again right after that.
I know it.
He missed it. They'll end up getting a 3 out of it.
Yeah, it actually worked out even better. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, no, once he decided he's going and heck with the rest of this noise, he said, he was also asked after the game about these miraculous comebacks. He said, I'm sick of this. I just want to win the game outright. I don't want to be having to do a comeback, all the time. And he had Ja basically by his own admission stunk the first part of the game. He couldn't hit a shot.
Oh, he did.
Couldn't hit a free throw.
He looked like he was hurt.
He did. He had a couple of turnovers, and I guess he got tired of his own pity party and just said, "Look, I'm gonna be me, and I'm going, and you're not gonna stop me."
I think Patrick Beverly also he got himself going with that dunk, and then Patrick Beverly with the too small. Right after that, he scored the next 13 points. I said earlier, if I were the Minnesota Timberwolves, I would say to Patrick Beverly, "Shut your mouth." I really would.
Just don't do. And Pat Bev is the perfect heel, right? I mean, to use a wrestling term, he is the perfect heel, perfect guy you love to hate. And he's got to do what he's got to do to stay in the league. So I don't. That's his deal. That's his stick. And, if he did that kind of stuff, if Tony Allen did that kind of stuff, we wouldn't be talking about Tony Allen. Tony Allen could play without fouling. And Pat Bev is just basically a pest. But that's what he's good at, and it works for them. But he picked the wrong dude to pull that on.
Well, I
think some folks who just don't play that.
Yeah, I don't think this series is over. Enjoy Minnesota. Love for you to bring back the first round and to go to Golden, get ready to go to Golden State, because I think that's awaits the winner. That's right.
Grizzlies got home court.
Yep.
So they'll come here.
But we shall see.
We're looking forward to that too.
Safe travels.
Like you said, let's get past this one first. You're right.
You got it. Safe travels, and we'll talk with you next week.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Jarvo. We appreciate it. Jarvis Greer from Action News 5. We thank him, and we thank Mickey Barker and Johnny Lyon for the golf picks. This final portion of our hour brought to you by the great Miramichi, 330 acres of beautiful, beautiful territory. It is. It's the back nine. It's like taking a walk through the woods. We got 7,400 yards of championship golf in Woodstock. It's about 12 minutes north of downtown. You've been there. Look, Golf Week said if you're playing in the state of Tennessee, you got to play Miramichi. I don't blame them. 330 acres of beauty. A beautiful overview, their terrace with a full-service bar, food, drink, sometimes music, overlooking 9 and 18 with ponds and trees and beautiful sky. I mean, it's as good a scene as you will find. And if you go play tomorrow and you're a senior, you'll play for $33. Always. The money includes golf cart and complimentary range balls and the best practice facilities of any public course around. Miramichi, it's the full package. But get in early because it's hard to get tee times. People love Miramichi. That'll do it. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis.